Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another Health Talk with Lisa. I'm your host, Lisa Thomas, and I am so excited to talk about something that has been pretty close to my heart here, especially since we are living in some pretty interesting times and in a world that, where many people are probably feeling pretty overwhelmed and things are kind of noisy around us right now. So today we are diving into the power of alignment and how balancing your mind, body, and spirit can lead to more peace, clarity, and fulfillment in your everyday life. So alignment is a word we hear a lot, but what does it really mean? Well, to me, alignment is about your flow. It's when your thoughts, your actions, and your inner values are walking in the same direction, and that is together. So let's look at this. Let's start with the mind. So when you're looking at the mind, when you think about it, your thoughts shape your reality. But many of us, myself included, we get caught up in patterns, of fear or comparisons or even constant overthinking. I know sometimes I can do a lot of overthinking because I'm always thinking, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And so when you get caught up in these different types of patterns, some people have many patterns of fear. They always have the fear of the unknown. And we should not live with the spirit of fear. The word tells us that. But some people, this is their thing. Some people are always concerning themselves of comparing themselves with other people or other things. And, and all of that leads to mental clutter. And that mental clutter weighs us down. So what I like to do is I like to ask myself daily, are my thoughts aligning with who I am becoming? Okay. And you may want to ask yourself that same thing. Are your thoughts aligning with who you are becoming? Now, one thing that helps and could help you as well is intentional journaling. If you like to write or if you like to jot down notes, then intentional journaling. And it don't take much. Maybe just 5 minutes, in the morning, after you've said your prayers, after you've thanked the Most High for allowing you the grace and the mercy to see another day. Then, before your feet even hit the floor, you may want to sit and intentionally, journal your thoughts. Journal about what, you want to purpose yourself to do for this day. For this is the day the Lord, the Most High had made. And we shall rejoice and be glad in it. So in the rejoicing and the being glad in this day, what are we planning on doing? What are the goals that we are setting out to achieve on this day? And then the efforts that, we're planning on putting into achieving these goals. And then are these things that we are looking to achieve, does these things now align with what the Most High has also purposed for us? So writing those things down, what you're grateful for. And then also not only what you're grateful for, but then being realistic too. What are you also anxious about? What are you nervous about? Another thing, what are you choosing to focus on? Because all of these things can shift your whole mindset. I also want you to pay attention to what your inner voice is saying. What is your inner spirit saying to you? Is it kind or is it critical? Okay. And then would you say those same things to someone that you love? So the same things that you're saying to yourself, would you feel comfortable saying those things to someone else that you care about? So I want you to think about all of that. Because mental alignment is about curating your thoughts, choosing the ones that serve you and not sabotage you. So that is the mind, okay? Having a mental alignment. And this is a practice that you can do each morning, that you allow to once again wake up and take another breath. All right? Now let's look at the body, the physical alignment. Now, I want to say this clearly. Your body is not just a machine that's just supposed to just keep on going and keep on going. Your body is a very sacred vessel. Okay? And so many people ignore what our bodies are trying to say. And I've said it before. You have to pay attention to your body. You have to think about, what your body is feeling like all throughout the day. Pay attention to your body. Your body is always giving you warning signals. Okay? It's always telling you if something's not right. Okay? But a lot of times people tend to ignore their body. Okay? And your body could be very well telling you that you're fatigued. Your body can very well be telling you, oh, you're not supposed to be eating this or consuming that. You're allergic to this or that. Your body can be telling you you're stressed. Your body can be telling you this pain means something. And what we do, we tend to push through. We push through. Why? Maybe because we feel like we need to meet a certain deadline, or we feel like we're obligated to do a certain thing. Okay? And because of that, we don't listen to the body. Some people are, so, hell-bent on meeting certain deadlines or doing things out of fear that we tend to, skip over basic necessities, such as a meal, drinking water, or maybe you are getting your meals in, and maybe you are drinking, certain fluids, and maybe you're not relieving yourself as you should. When your body sends a signal, certain aspects of your body sends a signal to your brain stating that you need to relieve yourself. Okay? So we beat ourselves up for not looking a certain way because society, says that there's a certain image that we should have, in order to be accepted. So that's what society says. But it's going to be to you to determine, how you feel about yourself. Because I don't look to society to determine what I should look and feel. I look within me. I have to feel comfortable with me. And that's how it should be for you. But true wellness is about listening to the body, not punishing it. So I will encourage you to check in with your body. Ask yourself, what do you need today? Okay? Do you need rest? Because that's another thing that's overlooked. People are fatigued because they're not getting enough rest. Okay? Do you need water? Are you putting the right nutrition in your body? Do you need movement? Are you living on a sedentary lifestyle? Not getting up moving enough? Are you getting enough steps in today? I believe, let me check my watch here. Let me see how many steps have I gotten in today. Because I know I've been at my desk quite a bit today, but I have been up moving around. I have gotten up to 6,485 steps. Now, my goal is always to hit 10,000, but I know that even when I'm done with just talking to you, I'm going to gain even more steps before the day is even over because I have some other things that I want to do. So I will most likely hit my 10,000 steps on today. So do you need movement? Are you getting the exercise in that you need? If this is the case, then we need to get this done because keeping ourselves active also helps in keeping ourselves in alignment. So even small choices such as stretching, drinking more water, taking a walk in fresh air can bring you back into alignment on a physical level. Okay? I know that during a very stressful season in my life, dealing with my mom, over the years. It definitely helped me to find that energy, and not just physically, but also emotionally. So let's work on getting our minds in alignment and then also our physical body back in alignment. Next, let's look at our spirit. Let's talk about the soul, because spiritual alignment is very important. So this is where many of us feel the most disconnected and probably the most hungry. Spiritual alignment doesn't have to be complicated at all. For me, it's my relationship with the Most High. I have to have prayer. I have to have meditation. I have to have quiet time. And not just only in the morning. I have to have it on my way to work sometime. I have to have it while I'm at work sometime. Sometimes I have to steal away during my lunch break and get it in. Sometimes on my way home, I have to have it. Definitely when I get home, I like to spend time in my hammock, as some of you all probably have heard me say this before. I like to take trips. I like to just steal away. I have to have that spiritual alignment. So therefore I can reconnect, and because I take on so many challenges and I take on so many burdens of so many people, just so indirectly, directly and indirectly, because of the position that I'm in with my job and the expectations that so many people have on me because of the things that I do, and how I'm always, in the eye of the public, and I'm always yielding a helping hand. So because of that, I have to, I don't have to per se, but that's just naturally what I do. I'm always a sounding board for so many people. And so I have to have that quiet time. I have to decompress. I have to take that time for myself. Even before I go to bed, sometimes I don't listen, sometimes before I go to bed, I don't even have to listen to, the television or anything like that. I would just listen to my music, my praise music, my worship music. Sometimes I just listen to healing beats. Sometimes I just want to listen to nature sounds, and it allows me to be, in my stillness. A lot of times I would just, lay in bed and just listen to scripture all night long, because it's calming. And even if I fall asleep while I'm listening to the scripture at any point during the night that I wake up, I'm still hearing the word of the Most High. So that stillness is very important to me, and it should be important to many people. But I can only speak for me. That meditation, a lot of people they love meditation. But for some, it's just simply being present in nature, which I enjoy that too. I love being present in nature. I love being outside. In fact, that's where I'm headed when I finish with this, because I enjoy being outside. Just taking it all in, and because it's quiet out there. I love listening to what the insects and what the animals are doing out there, because one thing about it is nothing wrong with listening to the creation made by the Creator, and listening to them in their habitat and how they communicate with one another, how they are in harmony. So I love having that spiritual alignment. And so when you align yourself spiritually, you connect to something that is much greater than you. You step outside of the to-do list and the stress, and then you bring yourself into a peace and a surrender and a trust. So you should ask yourself, what fills my spirit? What activities or what spaces reconnects you back to your values, your purpose, your creator? Because here's the powerful truth. When your spirit is anchored, the storms of life don't shake you as easily. Here are a few scriptures that I enjoy, reading and reciting when it comes to realigning myself on a spiritual level. One of my favorites, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, when it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. And for, of course, for my Hebrew family, you'll probably say, trust in Yahuwah with all your heart, or trust in Elohim in all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Okay? And when I think of this spiritual alignment, I think of this. Sometimes we're spiritually off because we're trying to carry the weight alone, and we don't have to do that. But alignment means leaning on his understanding and not just our own. And then Isaiah 26:3 says, you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. And this is the New International Version here. And I love Isaiah 26:3 because it reminds me that the peace isn't found in the performance, in our performance. It's found in his presence. So when we fix our thoughts in the Most High, in Yahuwah, he realigns us. When the world gets loud and so distracting, we can get realigned when we put our mind in him and keep it stayed on him. And then there's Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Hallelujah, right there. Because spiritual alignment also requires that we renew our minds daily. Because Romans 12:2 reminds us that transformation happens from the inside out. And so when we stop chasing the worldly expectations and start focusing on the divine truth, then that allows us to renew our minds. Because when they're going to keep us, they're going to try their best to keep us distracted out there. But we cannot be conformed to them, but we got to keep ourselves transformed by the renewing of our minds. And then last but not least that I want to share with you as far as my spiritual, alignment in scriptures, Matthew 11:28-29, the New International Version. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. So this is encouragement here, because if your soul feels tired or disconnected, just remember that the invitation is from Yeshua. Come, he says, to me, and I will give you rest. And so sometimes alignment just starts by simply sitting at his feet and being still. I tell you, it can't get no better than that, right? That is just beautiful. That is so encouraging. So spiritual alignment. We already have the mind, the alignment of the mind, the mental alignment. We have the body, the physical alignment. We have the spirit, the spiritual alignment. And now we have the integration, living in alignment. Well, here's the beauty. When you start aligning your mind, your body, and your spirit, something so just astronomical happens. Then we become whole again. At this point, we stop operating in survival mode, and then we start moving into intentional living. And no, it doesn't mean that life becomes perfect. No, I did not say that. But it becomes a little bit more easier. But we got to start showing up, right? We got to start showing up with more clarity. And then we start making more better choices. And then we become a little bit more grounded, right? So I will leave you with a simple daily practice that, I use this 3-point check. For the mind. Here's the question. What thoughts am I feeling for today? You can ask yourself that. For the body, how is my body feeling? What does it need? And for the spirit, am I spiritually connected today? What are my thoughts? What am I feeling? How is my body feeling? What does it need? And am I spiritually connected today? Try this every morning. Start your day out. After your prayer and your meditation, start your day out with this. And let's see how your days will begin to shift. So, that's your gentle reminder. You're not just a mind. You're not just a body. You're not just a spirit. But yet you're all three. So, and when they work together in harmony, then you become alive. And I'm going to leave you with this affirmation. I align my thoughts with peace, my body with love, and my spirit with truth. I am grounded, guided, and I am whole. So, I hope you all received this on today. And I thank you so much for tuning in. And if this message spoke to you, I invite you to share it with someone who might need a reminder that they need to be realigned. Until next time, keep moving in love, stay rooted in truth, and take care of all of you. Thank you again. I'm Lisa Thomas, your clinical practitioner and the owner of the Holistic Balance Life Center located here in the DFW area. And this has been The Power of Alignment. Shalom.